their house and they can't show, there are ways to generate leads, to inform your sphere, to tell people what's happening, to keep an eye on the marketing data, and to continue to share those things. So, without further ado, where'd Dan go? There he is! Yay! Without further ado, let's get into the deep dive without a transition this time. Let's just bring him up. I've been waiting to get to him. Everyone, please welcome Christophe Choo. Yay! Oh, hang on. I have him. Sorry. All right, now say hi. Sorry.
Hey guys, how are you?
Yeah, good. How are you doing?
Thanks.
So while we have a conversation, I will bring up some of the comments that we've had so far. Paige says that she's had a ton of people registering for the Just Curious about what their home is worth. So it's continued market activity. Redfin is going to allow agents to start showing again.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Let's see. David said the best idea he heard was to leave a table out with items to share and give. So that's good too. So there's a ton of ways right now that you can market yourself as an agent. And before we get into exactly what's happening right now, Christophe, how long have you been in the real estate business?
32 years, probably longer than you guys have been around.
No, I'm a little older than that. I was
diapers when I started in real estate.
I was six.
Yeah.
Wait, 32 years puts it back at what? 88?
88.
Yeah, I was driving. I was 16.
There you go.
There you go.
I know.
So I know we just look young because we're bearded.
The beard's covered up.
Photo of myself with a beard the other day that I posted on Facebook.
No, I didn't. That's amazing. I'll have to find that.
I'm not growing a beard. I'm still shaving it. Not today, but I did one of those photo apps with a fake beard, and I did a poll, and 78% of people want me to have a beard.
I'm telling you.
Well, and that was the post that made me go, "Hey, we should ask Christophe to be on the show."
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So whenever I started in real estate, I had a kind of a thin beard, and as it started to grow, it became controversial. And so now it sticks out and is a marketing tool. But back when I first had it, people were saying, "I can't believe you have that. You look so unprofessional." And yet I can list a multi-million-dollar house and sell it. So now today I'm in a t-shirt because, hey, this is quarantine time, right? But
right.
A beard looks pretty good in a suit, I have to say. All right, I'm going to find this photo. But what made you get into real estate? Why did you? I'm going to find this photo.
Yeah, you got to find it. Was probably Sunday or Monday.
Okay, cool.
I was a fashion model back in the mid to late 80s, and my wife now 27 years. I was traveling a lot with models and having fun, and she said, "You need a stable job." And I'm like, "What do you have in mind?" I didn't know any better, right? I'd cleaned apartments, I valet parked cars, I worked at restaurants, worked at supermarkets, I worked every kind of job there was, Hollywood Bowl, all that kind of stuff. And she says, "How about real estate?" And I was young and dumb at 18 or 18, and I thought, okay, I can drive a fancy car, I can show pretty houses, I can make a lot of money and be my own boss. I didn't realize there were escrows and loans and inspections and all this stuff. So I got my license. I was in the south of France in Saint-Tropez, laying on the private beach club, reading my real estate education books. Came home, got my license, and that's how it started. Just from a whim from my wife saying, "Hey, get into a more stable job."
Nice. So then you pretty quickly went into luxury, right? I mean, you didn't spend much time outside of the luxury world.
I'm going to say that my first deal was a $43,000 co-op in LA. And it was after a year. My first year, I made one deal. It was a $1,700 commission. It was a $43,000 co-op. And the manager said, "If you don't do some business, you're going to be kicked out of the office." And I'm like, "What am I going to do?" So I started calling expired listings and for sale by owners and prospecting, and that built my business. But I only went into the luxury realm. I started at about 21, 22 years ago, kind of starting in my old marketplace in Hancock Park. And I knew I needed to move to Beverly Hills. So when I physically moved myself, my home, my office to Beverly Hills, that took about a year or so to start getting, more into that marketplace. But that's about 21, 22 years ago now.
Okay.
So it didn't happen initially. I mean, when I left my other market, and my average price was $282,000. And now, depending on the year, it can be between 6 to 10 million, depending on, the year.
Nice. And what inspired you to go that direction?
It was in my heart. It was who I was. It was what I knew. All my social world that we had built and our lifestyle was around the luxury world. I just wasn't doing those deals. But just, I always say, do what you love best. And if you do that, people will be attracted to you. I believe in the law of attraction. So I always did what I thought was right, living a great lifestyle. It's changed now, but always living my best. And by doing that, I met a lot of clients. I mean, my luxury business kind of started back, it was our honeymoon cruise in 1993. We went on this 2.5-week cruise in the Mediterranean, met a wonderful couple from Beverly Hills. They kind of gave me my first referral in Beverly Hills, but from that one cruise, which back then, I won't talk about the money, but cost a quarter of my annual income in that year to go on a 3-week cruise. And of course, 4 or 5 days before in south of France and then in Rome afterwards, but it was a quarter of my annual cruise. But when I booked the cruise, I remember thinking to myself, I will make 10 times return on investment, right? Well, for that one cruise, if I've calculated correctly, it's $2.5 million in income over 26 years from that cruise. Because I looked at who I met from here to there, all that stuff. So
that's a great point. I mean, you could schedule a vacation and go on vacation, and then you can schedule a vacation and be a little bit intentional and listen.
Yeah.
And hear the conversations around you and find those opportunities that could turn that vacation into $2.5 million. It's pretty.
I mean, we were on a cruise with 1,200 people, and somehow the universe, because I had this intention, as you said, we were sitting by the pool one day on one of the sea days, and we're lounging, and this couple next to us, lovely couple. Oh, where are you from? Beverly Hills. Well, they were the only couple from Beverly Hills in the entire ship. How did we happen to sit next to them, right?
Yeah.
It's weird.
That's cool. Hey, speaking of attractive, there it is.
Oh my gosh.
That is fantastic. I love it.
Wait, is that an app that added that, or is that you with a beard?
It's an app. It's not, I didn't have a beard, it's an app.
That's a really good app too.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the app is pretty good. I don't know. My wife did it for me. I don't know what the app is, but like I said, 78% of the Instagram pollers said grow a beard. So
I think you have to grow a beard.
Yeah.
I mean,
see, mine has a lot of gray hairs. You guys don't have the gray hairs yet, but
I got some coming in.
No, I do.
The longer we're under quarantine, the grayer it's getting.
The more time you have to homeschool.
Say again.
You dye your beard?
No, not at all. I'm all natural. Yeah.
We are both au natural.
Yeah. So what was the market like for you last year? What was the luxury market doing? How were you faring?
It was not as strong as the year prior. Things were a bit volatile. A lot of the Chinese buyers were not in the marketplace as much as they were before. But it was a good year. I have no complaints. Look, I've been doing this for 32 years. I've been through riots, earthquakes, floods, fire, 9/11, crash of the 90s, crash of the 2000s. I've been through all this stuff. I remember being, a young Korean guy in 1991 when the LA riots happened. You guys still there?
Yeah. We're still.
It just solos on you.
You're on the big screen now.
Yeah.
So when the riots took place, I was working for my dad. I was selling real estate, but I was working for my dad to earn an income while I'm trying to sell houses. And I was driving down Western Avenue and Pico, I was driving down the street in not a fancy Mercedes, but a black Mercedes, Asian guy, with every other building on fire and people running across the streets with televisions and radios and stereos. So I've been through it all. And look, I've survived it all. And I keep going through and keep going forward and helping people achieve their goals. And no matter what the drama was at all those 9 or 10 different situations, and I thought, there's going to be no houses selling after the earthquake or no houses selling after 9/11. But, quickly as Americans, we resume life and we get back to business. And after every down cycle that was external, the market's improved almost every case. So
do you feel like this is much different in a lot of people had compared this to 2008, but I don't think it's the same there because that was like a systematic failure that took much longer to recover.
Yeah.
I would maybe make it more akin to like a 9/11 or something like that, where you have a big event that's going to have a lingering impact. And as long as we're all at home and can't go see houses and things, I feel like that impact will be stretched. But what do you think what's going to be the key as an agent to overcoming this?
So I agree with you 100%. I've done a number of webinars like this with Steve Harney, David Childers, talking about where we are today, because a lot of people, our memories are short. So we're focusing on, the crash of 2008. But that was a housing market crash. That was not an external force like today, which is this virus pandemic, which is a totally different thing. And back in 2007, 2008, we were in the US $862 billion in housing debt. Today, we're at 232 billion. So it's 75% lower amounts of housing debt in the United States.
Wow.
Secondly, 35% of all the homes in the US right now are owned free and clear. That's 35%.
Wow.
And of the 65% remainder, I believe 50% are mortgaged, less than 50%. And with the steps, thank God, the government, and in 2008, the government didn't take action quickly enough to change things.
Right.
So now, I mean, I believe from what I read and what I did in my interview, I believe 90% of the US-backed mortgages, and I don't know about Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac or FHA, I don't know that stuff because I've never done an FHA, VA loan or any of that. But from what I understand is 90% of all the mortgages in the US are backed by Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, from what I understand, and they have that 90-day moratorium on foreclosures. So from what I'm learning and what I know, I don't think we're going to see foreclosures. There's a huge pent-up demand. Our market this year, prior to the coronavirus situation, was 20 to 30% stronger in sales versus last year. Prices up 5 or 6%. Right now, it's basically a pause button. Everything is on pause. And once the pause button is lifted in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever that time is, the demand is so strong. We're in low inventory. Very few listings are coming on the market. I believe we're going to be well. And if you look at the Morgan, it was not Morgan Stanley, but the index last week, this quarter, the second quarter is going to go down 25% in GDP. But they predict the third and fourth quarter are going to go up 15 and 14% and higher gains in 2021. So I truly believe we will get out of this. Once this is done, the money is there, the equity is there in homes in America. People will, once this is done, I don't know about you, the first thing is go out to restaurants, go out to a trip, be with my friends and celebrate life again. So I think the economy will be like Lawrence Yun said, it's going to be a sharp drop V, but it's going to be a sharp V back up. I really believe that because this is not a housing crisis. This is an external situation that will change, but it's just a matter of how long it will take for that to change.
Yeah, I agree. Well, hang on. It's not letting me switch over to us. So I'm going to have to refresh. I'll refresh mine, but there it is.
There you go. Yeah, just leave Christophe on. It's totally cool.
I love that. I mean, it's a wealth of info. So as an agent, if you're sitting at your house, let's go a couple of different paradigms, right? Okay. So as an agent who's completely locked down, sheltered in place, sitting in your home, what would you recommend that agent be doing during a time like this?
Well, I'll just give you my schedule. I still wake up at 6 a.m. Now I do have time every day to go for a walk with my wife, which she's been harping me on forever. So I get up, get dressed. I don't have to be at the office by 7 or 6:30. So I get up, I take a nice walk with the neighborhood, even though I may have issues, fears, and worries in my mind as I'm walking and I'm not being present to the moment. It's taught me about being more present to the moment. So take my walks in the morning. I'm still coming to the office. I knew we were essential weeks ago. I have not been in contact with another human being other than my wife for 18 days now. So, but I get my car, come to my private parking, come to my private office. I got to have some sense of normality. So I come to work. I've not had any showings in, 20 days. But I come in, I do my affirmations now instead of 3 days a week, every single day, we're doing affirmations.
Awesome.
And I'm doing my social media posts, no selling like you guys saw. I'm not selling anything right now. Maybe next week I'll start, but I'm not really selling. I'm just trying to share positivity. I'm doing lots of webinars and Zoom calls. I'm doing interviews with people that are of value to my community to talk about. There's so much fear and anxiety and stress out there right now. We all are feeling it at different points in our days. But my job is to be the calming force in my world, whatever that world is, and to help people understand, look, I'm dealing with the same issues everyone else is, but I'm getting over it quickly. I may get up this morning and be upset and stressed out, take my walk, do my affirmations, and I change my state, like Anthony Robbins says. And I come to the office and I focus on my work, emailing, taking care of clients, following up with leads, and connecting with all of my people. I'm doing the best I can now to spend a couple hours a day connecting with people, just not to ask for business, just calling to check in on them. How are they doing? What can I do to assist them? How are they feeling? Some people just need an ear to listen to, just to share their anxieties. So That's what I'm there for, and that's what I'm doing. And so I work, and then I'm trying to leave the office around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, pick up some food to keep our local businesses in business, or order food, come home.
Mhm.
I'm trying to do projects. I've actually had to no housekeeper now for 3 weeks, right? So I actually have to clean and vacuum my bathroom. Now, granted, back when I was 12 years old, my mom was a hairdresser, and I would go to her beauty shop on Saturdays at 6 a.m., help her clients make coffee, feed them donuts, and sometimes wash hair. But I was cleaning apartments at 12 years old. And I remember at 12 years old, back in the late 70s, I would make $60 cash, spending 3 hours cleaning one of my mom's apartments. I would go to the beauty shop, take care of the clients, go to her apartment, clean her apartment. And I was allergic to cats, and she had long Persian cats. So for 3 hours, I was sneezing and choking. But I mean, back in the 70s, $60 in cash?
You're going to say $60 is pretty good.
Yeah. But I was a damn good house cleaner. So I haven't had to do that in many years.
You're back to that now.
It's like riding a bike.
And my wife's like, "What are you doing?" So I had the pine saw and the mop and the vacuum and the Lysol, but I'm a damn good cleaner. And I've been gardening. Now I have time to actually spend time in my beautiful garden that I spent years working to buy this house and to do it. But for how many? I mean, sometimes 6 months at a time. I'd say to my wife, "I haven't even spent 20 minutes in the garden in 6 months." So now I'm home at 3 or 4. I go out in the garden. Yesterday I replaced 15 light bulbs in the outside lights. I was trimming trees. I'm cleaning fountains. I'm trimming trees on the But I'm focusing on what I can do, not what I can't do. I'm focusing on the good, not the bad. Even this morning, I was really in a pissy mood. My wife wakes up and she starts singing in the morning, clear skies are gonna, gray skies are gonna clear up, putting a happy face. Yeah. I'm like, don't do that to me right now. I text her, I said, I'm sorry I was grumpy this morning, but I'll be okay. So look, we all have our moments. Yeah. I try to get over it quickly. But once I immerse myself in activities and helping others, then I forget about all my own BS.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you're in a stage like I am, where we can still show, we do limited real estate activity, how would your messaging change to those inquiries that you get? So someone that's calling off a Zillow, or someone that's like, I'm thinking about listing my house. What kind of message would you be giving them instead of normally we go pretty hard into the appointment and the sale?
Yeah, so I have not done that for a long time, because particularly in our market, over 7-10 million, I would say 80% of the inquiries and leads are bogus. These are just strange people on the internet. Sometimes kids that are around. They want to, start engaging you in a conversation about a house. So
that's not that much different, actually.
It hasn't changed. But and I've been doing videos for 12, 13 years. I've been doing virtual showings forever. So now more than ever, and we always do on a high-end property, I'm like, okay, thanks for calling us. Nice talking to you. Here's the virtual walking tour. Here's the video tour professional. Take a look at these 2 videos. Look at the photos on the website, and just make sure it's generally a fit for you. And that would alleviate maybe 20, 30% of the potential showings. Because, I don't want that, or I don't want that. So that's good. So we're doing that even more now. And obviously, we're going to take the safety protocols. We have all of our masks, and I have my mask in my drawer. I don't know where it is right now, but in my drawer, in my office, in my car. So things have not changed that much, because also in our market, look, anybody over 5 million, we heavily pre-qualify them. And most real buyers, if I say, hey, look, it's a $20 million home, the lawyers and the sellers need a proof of funds. If they give me some song and dance, they're not going to send it, then they're not real. And the real ones will text it to me or send it to me in 10 minutes. Yeah. So things haven't changed that much in terms of the screening and the showings, because we've always done that.
That's good. I think it's good advice for agents that haven't done that. We've always gone after our agents, not only just not to waste your time, but also for safety, to be sure you know who these people are that are calling, that they have a photo identity, that they've been pre-approved with a lender that you can verify. It's just safer. But now more than ever, it's safer not only for you and your personal safety, but also due to the coronavirus and the pandemic and everything else. It's just a safer way to go, is to overqualify, and then to see if you want to spend your time.
And this is my feeling. Look, I self-quarantined probably about 5 days before it became law in California. And even the week prior to quarantining going into place, we had our last dinner on the Tuesday at Spago with some of our great friends. The last lunch on Friday. I said to our friends, and I said to the maitre d' at the restaurant, I said, this is my last lunch and this is my last dinner for quite a while. They're like, what are you talking about? I said, I really know what's going to happen. And from as of today, I will not be going out to restaurants anymore. I'm just not going to do that. And look, I've known for weeks that we are under that rule that we can do what we need to do. But I still have not shown properties. If I need to, I will do what I have to do. But we've had appointments requested and then they cancel at the last minute because people get scared, which is fine.
Yeah.
But we have to just be careful. And this is not just for me and my family and my safety, but for the planet. I mean, I truly believe when you look at those videos and all that, it just takes one person to spread it to hundreds. And thank God the governor of California, the mayor of San Francisco, if you look at the cases in San Francisco and Los Angeles, I remember 2 weeks ago or a week ago, I'm like, why is it New York quarantined?
Yeah.
And, they didn't do it. And look at New York. I mean, my God. But I mean, as of California today, we're at 50 deaths in California. We're a huge state with huge population. Or is it LA? LA's 50 people. I forget what it is. But I'm doing this for everyone's protection. Look, there's no one more social than I go to lunch every day, 6 days a week, 3-4 nights a week, parties 5-6 times a week. It's very strange to not be social, not go out, and but that's the right thing to do, and that's what we need to do. I don't care what the government says. Stay home. I'm not even going. I haven't been in the market in 3 weeks. I'm not going to the market. I can order things in. 2 months ago, I bought all the canned foods, everything I needed. I don't eat canned foods, but I bought it. So,
just in case, you never know.
Yeah. And,
so out of curiosity, you said that was your last time to go out. What was your last meal?
So my last dinner was at Spago in Beverly Hills, Wolfgang Puck, which is one of the biggest restaurants in the country. And I've known Wolfgang for 35 years. So we went to Spago for dinner with two of our most wonderful friends. And we had grilled salmon, smoked salmon pizza, tequila, vodka, champagne, and a split pea soup with lobster. And no dessert because I don't eat sweets. But that was and I said on Facebook that night, I said, the Last Supper. It was on Facebook before the quarantine. I said, the Last Supper. Yeah. And Friday was at Villa Blanca, and we had I told the maitre d' we're leaving. He says, I'm not coming back. He brought us champagne, and we had, I think, a chicken marsala. I had truffle French fries and salad.
What's the thing that you're craving now that you're like, oh, I cannot wait until
a Mulberry Street pizza with sausage, pepperoni, and mushrooms. But I don't generally eat wheat, and I'm not eating meat really for a while. I mean, once in a while I eat meat. But yesterday I said to my wife, I said, I want to bring home a Mulberry Street pizza. I didn't bring it. And they're huge. They're flat. They're from New York, and they're like, 19 inches. They're flat crust. But damn, I mean, I could eat half of a giant pizza myself.
I think everyone's getting hungry right now just listening to our conversation.
About a year ago, my wife went on a 3-day girls trip to Vegas. And I said, okay, the night you're gone, or one of the nights, I ordered the Mulberry Street pizza for myself. I ate it in 2 days with the Angel Food white cake with the white frosting and a Caesar salad. So that's what I'm craving.
Michael Elizabeth Rodell, she's my buyer specialist. She said, I want Christophe's life, at a minimum, his dinners.
Well, that's one thing, I'm so blessed in my life. I have, and every morning in my affirmations, I'm so grateful just for having perfect mental and physical health, my home, my wife, my kids, my family, hot and cold water, a warm bed, a roof over my head, fresh food, my garden, the air I breathe, the sunshine, the nature, the animals, my clients, my friends, my staff, my team, my experiences. I'm thankful for myself and what I've accomplished. So gratitude is so important. So yes, I love all that wonderful life and all the jewelry and all the parties, but that's not what's important. And when my mom died 21 years ago in my arms, I realized, thank God, at 33 years old or 31 years old, that it's not about the money. It's not about the material possessions. It's about moments, people, love, kindness, and appreciation. And my mom was a country girl from the south of France, from a poor family, but she taught me what was important. Family, love, food, kindness, and giving. That's what she taught me. So I learned that early on. I still like luxury, although I think that's kind of over. We can still have homes, but I think the world of the last 5-6 years where everyone is so caught up in, especially with social media. Oh, look at my Ferrari. Look at my this. Look at my $50,000 bag. Right. I started years ago. I would post photos of my shopping sprees and all that. I stopped that 5 or 6 years ago. I thought this is not the right thing to do, and I just think that world has changed, and I think this will all come for the good. Look, the planet is healing. As human beings, we're now spending time with our families and friends, and really, we all know this stuff, but now we're really able to force ourselves to realize what's important and enjoy those moments and be grateful for those moments, because there are people around the world right now that are dealing with this, and they're sick and are dying. Their friends are dying. Their family are dying. They don't have food. They don't have running water. They don't have a bed to sleep in. So who the heck am I to complain about anything? I was complaining this morning, but through my day, I'm like, wait, my wife's like, we should be so grateful because we're leaving the house for a walk. And I was, so why aren't you smiling? She said, smile for me. I did my fake Korean smile. I went, it's a fake smile. She said, I want to see a real smile. And I said, I have nothing to smile about. She says, don't you say that. She says, universe, forgive him for saying that. And I was so wrong to say I have nothing to be happy about. That's so wrong. But I was just in a bad moment. So luckily I got my wife, and she caught me on it, and she called me on it. And I'm like, okay. So look, we're all human beings. We're all dealing with this in different ways. Every day it's up and down a roller coaster. We all have to do our best and give kindness and love and appreciation and goodness and helping others.
Yeah. Well, and I think what we have to remember here is what Christophe is saying, because go outside of real estate. Remember that what we do, we are in a people business, and remember that people are struggling right now. They may be having a very difficult time. So go out, reach out to them, see how you can help them virtually, through video, through just shooting them a message. Just every now and then, I've found that just shooting someone a message on Facebook, how you doing? How is your world? That's more important than anything I could do in any other way, so just really, really try to do your best to connect now. And I'm speaking to agents, obviously I'm speaking to other humans as well, but agents specifically, don't get rid of the car salesman thing right now. Just get rid of it. You can come back to it whenever this is over if you like, but get rid of it. Find some humanity in your business right now and spread that to the universe.
Yep. And if you think about it, truly, I believe some of the people that appear the strongest in the world are the ones that most need the support. So reach out to those that you think are really strong and are doing fine. Reach out to them, because they may show, look, I have my own issues and my own fears and worries, but I don't show that to the world. Maybe once in a blue moon, but I show a good front. But I have my issues too. I have my fears and worries and my cries. So reach out to those that you think are really strong, because they might be the ones suffering even more.
Absolutely.
Reach out to everyone. And no selling. I mean, that's over for right now. Just contribute to the universe. I truly believe in the law of the universe, and whatever you do will come back to you tenfold. Maybe not now, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next year, but it will bless you. And look, years and years ago, when I first started real estate, I wanted to be the richest man. I wanted to be a billionaire. I wanted to be retired at 30. Well, that never happened. But I realized it's not about the money. Yeah. I know so many of the wealthiest people in the world, top 10, Forbes, top 20, they're not happy people. Yeah. Happiness is people you love. Because when I'm on my deathbed, I'm not going to care about any of the personal, physical things I've bought over the years. Right. I'm going to be thinking about the people I've loved that have loved me in those special, precious moments. That's all I'm going to be thinking about. The rest of it it's nice when you have it, and when you do have it, the stress and attachment to those material items can cause you more stress than the pleasure of that material. Look, for years I would, work so hard to buy a watch or an expensive piece of jewelry or a new car or whatever. You may be happy for 5 minutes, but it doesn't bring you long-term joy and satisfaction. What does is people you love that love you and helping each other.
Love that. People who know you and love you anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's one of the things why I personally love Christophe, because meeting him I think the first time was 2 Tom Ferries ago when we met. And I think I had been following him for a while, but you see like Beverly Hills and cars and this and that, and you have kind of a image or a preconceived notion, and then you meet him. He's just a regular dude, and now you guys are getting to hear it and see it. And not that I wouldn't expect you to be a quote unquote regular dude, but it was so heartwarming to me just to go, oh, like you could really tell, like, hey, I love all this stuff. It's fun to have all these accomplishments and things, but he focuses on what's really and what's good to his core, which is really awesome.
And what people don't realize about me, most people who just meet me the first time, and perception is reality. They meet you for the first time. This bougie, blingy Beverly Hills dude coming in with all that fancy flash.
I get the
Who
same.
the hell is he?
Same thing.
Yeah. So, I come, and people don't know who I am, but I come from, my mom was a hairdresser. My dad was never there. My stepdad just was a regular employee. But I had a vision, a goal, and a dream, and I worked for that. And I worked hard since I was 12 years old. Like I said, all those jobs. But I was raised on the farms in France every summer, cleaning the stalls and taking care of the animals and nature and living on just what was on the farm. So I know what's important. Yes, I still like the luxury life. I still want to accomplish those things if I can and will, but it just I know that's not what's important because I lived that life and I've said to my for years, so let's just move to France in the country, buy a little house, have a farm, forget about this luxury life in Beverly Hills because it's nice and lovely, but there's a lot of superficiality to that,
Yeah.
That's
Right.
just reality.
Yeah.
And Shimbo says Christophe is the most wonderful, kindest people.
Oh, thank you, Anne. I love you too.
And Howard, when we were talking about that pizza, he's in Israel. He said, "Do they deliver?"
Hey, Howard, how are you?
So we have a lot of comments. Any last thoughts for us?
No, I think I've covered it. Just be your best self every day. When you have your down moments, go meditate. Go in the garden or go outside and take some deep breaths without people around you. And just focus, no matter where you are or what you are, focus on what you have and what you're grateful for. Look, you're gonna have bad times all day long, every day. That's fine. Just get over it quickly. That's my finishing advice.
Love it.
Thanks so much for joining us on this show, and we look forward to the post-quarantine bearded Christophe.
I mean, you have to do it now.
Thanks for having me, guys. I so appreciate it, and this has been fun. And be safe, healthy, and go take care of people in your world.
Hopefully, we will see you at a conference soon. So
I hope so. Summit this summer. Let's pray.
We will see. Thanks
Okay,
again.
guys. Thank you.
Cool, dude.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to some of these comments now. Let's see.
Go back up to.
Dusty said, absolutely right. Exporters are less likely to send a pre-qualification or proof of funds.
Yeah,
that's
very true.
Melissa Marsh says she's grumpy and then she gets coffee. Hey, speaking of drinks, I think it's time.
I think it is time. And I'm going to get to probably the most possibly controversial, but also probably the most important comment so far. This is from Elizabeth. And maybe it's Mike. We don't know, but I'm assuming it's Elizabeth. Never seen Ray in a suit. And by the way, they work together. Sport coat, yes.
No.
But never a suit. But further proof it's about your skills and not your outfits.
Oh, thank you. I do have a suit and a bow tie, but I don't wear it that much.
Oh, can we get next week? We're doing suits and bow ties.
Melissa Marsh said, do it, Ray. And she said, oh, I like him. Yeah, he's a good guy. Howard said, dang, internet is cutting in and out. You'll catch it on the replay, Howard.
Yeah.
All right.
And
so
he's just an awesome dude. And that's why we wanted to have him on, because it's bigger than real estate right now. And obviously he has that point of view, which is really, really cool.
And I find myself talking to a lot of people in the industry who have been in it a lot longer than me. And I went through the big one, right? I went through the 2007 and 8, but it wasn't fun. And so now I like to talk to the people that have been in the business longer than me to hear what they have.
That was interesting to hear. He went through 8, 9, 10 different things. Ray's got them all up. He went all these different things that he's had to go through in 32 years of being in business as a real estate agent. And he's gone through them all. And this one, out of all those, he's saying this one is a pause. It's a pause button to see what happens, kind of. It's not a fight, or it's not a housing crash. It's a pause, and I think, he went to the V, a sharp decline in activity, and then we'll get that sharp V up by
really even a U. It's literal V.
Yeah.
All right. So Melissa Marr said, could you even see a bow tie under the beard? You could a little bit. I do have to trim it up though, so that you could see but it's a big bow tie.
I was going to say, make it bright enough or big enough. So what you have, is it 4 different flavors?
4 different flavors, and the flavors are different than White Claw. So this one is cherry, which I feel like that one's going to taste a lot like cherry Tylenol. It's cherry flavored alcohol. That's basically Tylenol. The cherry Tylenol.
Like for the kids.
Then there's mango, which I'm actually really excited about. I like mango.
You should go with mango first.
Well, I think and then there's blackberry lime, which is no surprise that Corona has lime in it.
Dude, that sounds like a New York seltzer. Remember those when you were young?
Then there is this one, the tropical lime. So for a most direct comparison,
Okay.
White Claw has the lime. They also have the mango, but it's been a while since I've had the mango, so I wouldn't be able to comment. So Mike Elizabeth Rodell says, I've seen him in a Bowser and a Buzz Lightyear. If Ray does a bow tie, then need to concede it with the team photo. Oh, yeah, for sure. All right, here we go. There you go, sound effects. All right. So on the nose, it is definitely a little more limey. I can even smell some of the seltzer in there.
But now that's a Corona thing, right? You have the lime with the Corona, so they kind of want that to come out first.
It's got some White Claw flavor, but the finish is not as smooth.
Is it very bubbly, seltzery?
Not too bubbly. I would say White Claw is more bubbly. Someone told me when they tried a White Claw, it was like drinking TV static.
Now I've never had one, and now I don't have to.
I should have asked Christophe if he's ever had a White Claw before. I'm missing that man White Claw. So,
that's good.
It's good. I would say I would drink this if I couldn't find a White Claw. I don't know that I would choose this over White Claw. It's not. So it's kind of weird drinking a Corona. Where did Dan go? It's kind of weird drinking a Corona with no beer flavor.
So that's what I was going to ask. Does it still have a regular Corona flavor at all?
Well,
or did they just make a whole new thing and put Corona on it?
It's kind of a whole new thing. I mean, there might be something in the mid-range of the palate that is a little bit Corona-y. Even maybe something in the top of the palate as it finishes, but it's definitely not.
So what I wanted to ask is, these to me seem like not a White Claw. White Claw is going to have a taste, but these to me seem like you would get a smell up front, have a taste, and then have a mid kind of palate thing, and then have a finish. Does it take you through kind of a range of things?
It does. There's definitely difference in the front and mid, and then the finish is more like I could tell I've had something alcohol with alcohol in it, right?
Oh.
So the finish, I could definitely yes, that's an alcoholic beverage.
Wow.
But when you first taste it, it's like a lightly flavored, slightly more bitter Sprite.
Huh. Interesting. I feel like I should do a taste test too, since we're here.
I mean, why not, right?
I mean, we're here.
Omission.
Have you ever had one of these or heard of this?
We don't have those.
So it's a golden ale, and it's crafted to remove gluten, but it's also only 99 calories.
A gluten-free ale.
A gluten-free golden ale, 99 calories. And what's the other one? And only, check this out right here. My favorite part. 3
carbs.
That's it.
So we have.
I like that it wants to focus on my face and not the 3 carbs.
Nutritional information on this one is 0 carbs, 90 calories, 4.5% alcohol by volume. Also gluten-free. But that's a beer that's gluten-free. Or is it a seltzer?
Beer. This is a beer.
How does that taste? While he's drinking, Mike Elizabeth Rodell says, White Claw, I feel, may not be up to Wolfgang Puck's palate. I don't know. You don't know what he likes to sit around a pool drinking. It's probably not White Claw.
This is good. So I had some.
Dan said he was going to get the drinking job this week.
I just didn't. I honestly, I'm really, really, really trying to adhere to what they're telling us to do in California, not go get the non-essential stuff. So I just didn't go shop. I've gone to buy crickets this week for our bearded dragon, and honestly, I already had these in there from a while ago. So
nice. I remember you used to do a real estate and brews thing, right? A beer.
Yeah. It's called Free Beer. We have the page still there. It's called Free Beer. And what we do is we would give out hashtag free beer at open houses and stuff. But then what we would do is we would go to local beer events, like craft brew fests. And we would set up a booth and we'd said, hey, and we had like games here. We had the
that's cool.
The Plinko thing. We had a spin the wheel thing, and it was like win a free whatever. We'd give a bunch of stickers away. Our lender would give out a bunch of merch. We haven't done that in a while, in probably 2 years, but man, it was so fun. But it was like tough to keep up with because it's a fun event, but it's also prospecting. And then you get all these people coming through, and it was tough to keep up with those events because you're trying to do one once a month. It was a lot to keep up with and run a real estate business. It became its own thing.
That was back when people could be near each other. Edward Carr is the new wine cooler. Melissa Murr said, I'm only getting alcohol delivered until further notice. She also said, don't do the cherry. She said, and then my description of the flavor of these Coronas said that's in line with what whiskey tastes like. I would say that it was almost like in the very back, you know how the whiskey finishes, like in the very back, or a bourbon. It's like, that's kind of how the very back, but it's not nearly as strong.
But I mean, is that what you mean by
alcohol?
The alcohol finish?
Yeah.
That's so interesting. Because this one, so have you ever had a Michelob Ultra?
Yeah.
It's a better version of that. It's got more flavor than that. That beer, to me, that's actually the best light beer out of all of them. The Bud Light and the Coors, those are horrible.
Well, I don't mind the Bud Light. I'll drink that every now and then.
Well, you can drink 82 of them and not feel anything.
That's why I like.
Right, but the Ultras
beer.
It's actually a pretty good tasting beer, and this one here has a little more flavor, a little more golden, a little more crisp, and some good flavors. I really dig it.
So in honor of Christophe, we're only going high end. There you go.
Yeah,
I had already planned on. Some of you may remember last week. I had already planned on trying these this week after so many questions about it, and then we booked Christophe. And I thought, well, that's interesting.
That's interesting.
So, well, thanks so much, everyone, for joining the show. I know there were a lot of comments that we couldn't get to because we just had a short time with him. So I apologize if I did not get to your comment this week. But I really appreciate you guys tuning in and watching. Thanks for spending part of your quarantine time with us.
Well, a couple of things. So, Ray, where can they find you?
You can find me at Ray Zorback. That's RayZorback. Everywhere good Razorbacks are sold.
I love that line. And I'm trying to do more. So I am actually D Ludwig rocks. That Corona seltzer's already kicking in. But I already do lots of video. I've been trying to go. I usually go live, obviously, with Ray every Wednesday at 10 a.m. my time and 1 p.m. on the Cheese Toast, 12 Central his time. But I've been trying to go live even more and more check-in stuff like, hey, how are you guys doing? What's going on in your market? All that stuff. But what I've added now is a happy hour. And we did our first happy hour last Friday. Oh my God, it was a blast. It was an absolute blast. So I'll put it out to if you don't follow me at D Ludwig Rocks here on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or.
This is a private happy hour, not a public happy hour like the one.
No, we did. This was just Zoom. So
private event. It's a private event, everyone.
Yes, it's just my private event, but it was awesome. But I will put it out to my Facebook page. So if you don't follow me, go follow me. And I will put it out there. Now, I'm not inviting everyone. So if you don't get an invite, don't get mad. I'm just kidding.
We have another check-in here. It says, hi, guys. Best regards from Belgium. Ultimate beer country.
Wow.
Charles, thanks for joining the show.
Thank you, sir. Now we are more than worldwide. Wait, we're still on.
Massimo. We have Howard. And now we have our international viewers. So
he's now our Belgian.
Belgian correspondent. Beautiful beard too, and look at all that hair.
I know. Just quarantined, and I'm assuming his beard and hair is much longer now that the quarantine's happened.
Yeah, let's give it.
But so I'll put that out there. If you don't follow me, go follow me everywhere, and we appreciate you guys. This was fun, a little different than our normal show, but by the way, next week, Ray,
we have another guest next week.
That's it.
Pretty cool. Some of these guests. So there you go.
Yeah. This one, I'm pretty pumped on it. I know Ray's pretty pumped on it, so it should be fun. Should definitely be fun. So if you're free next week, which what else are you doing? Come hang out with us for an hour and a half. Last week, 2.5 hours.
I got some hair sticking out of here. Okay, everybody, I got to brush my hair. So thanks for joining the show. Cheers,
love you guys.
Yay! Cheers.
Drink.
Bye, everybody.
Oh, that's good.